From the windows of these flats, one can obtain excellent panoramic views of the city. Evidence of the continuing development and expansion can be seen on all sides. It was often necessary to demolish old property to provide space for the erection of new buildings, in keeping with the overall plan of a city determined to keep pace with the progress of modern society. New construction was not confined to housing and the development of the city centre. New schools, of which Thorns High was typical, were provided. The child's first experience of school was at the primary infants, where they commenced at the age of 5, remaining until they were 7. During this time, basic instruction was given in many subjects, which would form the foundation upon which their subsequent education would be built. There were 13 schools in the city, devoted entirely to infants. In addition, a further 5 were combined with junior schools, which took children from 7 to 11 years old. In addition to teaching the children to read, write and do simple arithmetic, every effort was made to encourage self-expression. Typical of the new city high schools, which cater for children from the age of 11 onwards, was the Cathedral School. Domestic science was one of the numerous practical subjects in which the girls received instruction. Dressmaking, cookery, and other domestic tasks were taught by competent and fully qualified staff. In the city high, the child was finally prepared for playing a full and useful part in domestic life, industry, commerce, or for further education at other schools or colleges which specialized in particular fields. A recent addition, of which the city is most proud, was the Technical and Art College, opened in 1962. In the engineering department, all types of equipment had been installed in order to prepare students for entry into one of the city's many industries. Many school leavers took up employment in the woolen mills. Mining and its related industries, textile mills and heavy and light engineering provided employment for a considerable section of the population. Probably the sport which has brought most fame to the city is rugby league football, and Wakefield Trinity Football Club is known wherever the game is played. At their ground in Bellevue on Saturday afternoons throughout the season, crowds gathered to witness their keen and skillful play. During their recent history, Wakefield Trinity has won many trophies, and on no less than 4 occasions has won the Rugby League Challenge Cup. Returning victorious from Wembley in 1963, after winning against Wigan, they received a rapturous welcome. Wakefield has always been noted for its fine parks, and the holiday festivities were a great time for children to participate in various events, which they entered into with great enthusiasm. One of the most important events of 1967 took place on Wednesday, the 27th of March, when the Right Reverend Eric Tracy, formerly suffragan Bishop of Pontefract, was enthroned in the Cathedral Church of All Saints. Shortly after 2:30, representatives of the West Riding Council and civic heads of the 13 boroughs in the diocese, preceded by their respective mace-bearers, began to arrive. When all were gathered, the bishop, accompanied by his attendants, arrived at the west door of the cathedral and, in the traditional manner, knocked 3 times upon it with his pastoral staff before entering. The enthronement itself was performed by the provost of the cathedral, the Very Reverend Canon Philip Pear, by mandate of His Grace the Archbishop of York. On completion of the ceremony, the bishop left the cathedral in procession, accompanied by the canons, the assistant bishop, provost, registrar, the bishop's chaplain, and the chancellor, Mr. G.R. Graham, QC, who had read the mandate. A not unfamiliar sight in the city of recent years has been the return of Wakefield Trinity Football Club from Wembley. Usually victorious, but alas, this time as runners-up, having been beaten by neighbours Leeds in an exciting final played under extreme conditions. The return of the team from Wembley is a sure signal for supporters to turn out in force to register their admiration. On this occasion, the team were able to show supporters the League Championship trophy, which they had won during the season. In response to accolades from the crowd, Don Fox had, finally, to appear on the town hall balcony. February 1969 saw the opening of the first multi-storey car park in the city. This provision, in a city widely known for its free car parking facilities, did not meet with the approval of either the tradesmen or the motoring public. In spite of the initial opposition, no doubt as the years progress, the venture will prove the wisdom of the city fathers, whose foresight provided this amenity for the city. Another well-known Wakefield establishment, Pickle's Store, disappeared when, on Sunday morning, 15th of March 1969, demolition contractors set to work in Kirkgate to make way for a shopping development recently opened lower down the thoroughfare. Thursday, the 12th of March 1970, saw the meeting of a long-felt need, a new store. For on this day, the Mayor of Wakefield, Alderman Janice Taylor, opened the 49th branch of C&A. The crowd of eager shoppers which had gathered in Westgate more than an hour before the official opening provided no control problem for the police.